I am broke. I have no income. I have no income. I have no alimony because Mr. Haas didn't want to pay alimony. My rights have been just totally infringed upon. I went, okay, I had no money. Mr. Haas would not give me money for a lawyer.
So we're not on the record yet, but we have a motion to compel. So Ms. Thompson, are you going to have any testimony from anybody or just arguments?
Just arguments. Yeah, well, there will be some testimony from the realtor, but other than that, just arguments.
Okay, and then Ms. Haas, Angela Haas, you want to unmute? And are you going to have any witnesses? You're still muted. Like your lips are moving, but nobody can hear anything. You're still muted.
All right, guys, the courtroom doors swing open and tension fills the air. Rhonda H.O. steps forward, eyes sharp with years of struggle behind them. She's not here for sympathy, she's here for justice. Across from her sits Bruce H.O.'s, calm but cold, the man who once shared her home and now stands between her and survival. The judge calls the case to order, and immediately, you can feel the weight of everything said pressing down on the room.
Okay, there. I'm using my daughter's computer, so it's not Angela, it's Rhonda.
Okay. And so are you going to have any witnesses?
Just myself and some documents that I sent as exhibits to the court.
Okay. And so, Ms. Thompson, have you got those exhibits?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so are they, is that something that I can get, that I can look at?
They were sent to the court clerk as well, or Maria, or whoever it goes to.
Okay, I mean, because I don't see anything in the file, so I'm not sure if it's, I know you can look at exhibits somehow on Zoom if they're downloaded or something.
I don't know.
All right, so let me get.
I asked to appear in court, but I was not given the right to.
Rhonda begins her plea, voice trembling yet fierce. She tells the judge she's filed a motion to compel the sale of the marital home. Your Honor, I'm drowning in debt, she says, her frustration clear. She talks about sleepless nights, unpaid bills, and the desperate feeling of being trapped in a home she can no longer afford. Everyone in the room senses that this isn't just about property, it's about survival.
Appear in court.
Okay. What do you mean you're not? Okay, what do you mean you're not given the right to appear?
I asked to appear in court so I could bring physical documents. I'm not used to using the computer, and the internet is liable to go out here. It's not reliable. So I was not given that right. But anyways, I did send the documents. I don't know. I'm not that computer savvy at the moment. I don't have access to all of these things, but I did send copies of the documents.
Okay. Well, I don't have any of those, and you
could
have shown up, and we're going to go ahead and so Ms. Thompson and Ms. Haas, get your witnesses. Let me get them to raise their right hands. Okay, do you and each of you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Yes.
And Ms. Belusic? Oh, and Ms.
The judge leans forward, calm but calculating. Mrs. H.O.'s, he says, why do you believe this sale is necessary? Rhonda clenches her hands and fires back. Because I've lost everything else. She claims Bruce is hiding behind paperwork, stalling the process and manipulating the system. Her tone isn't just angry, it's exhausted. This is the sound of a woman who's been fighting too long just to be heard.
Belusic, you're muted. If you're still muted, this is okay. So And this is why I hate doing stuff by Zoom. So you're still muted, Miss Bluesick. I can see you're talking, but can't hear.
Is that there now?
Now I can. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that.
All right. So this is cause number 2022L8099, the matter of the marriage of Bruce Haas and Rhonda Haas. And so Ms. Bluesick and Ms. Haas have been sworn. So Ms. Thompson, you may proceed.
Your Honor, so just briefly, I'll give an opening. So we were here before you a few months ago on a motion to compel to sell what was the marital residence. And we set some amounts and we set a stair step, and the house still has not sold. And Mr. Haas is still being 100% responsible for all of the bills, utilities, and maintenance in the house. And
Bruce finally speaks, his voice level but defensive. Your Honor, I've done everything the court asked of me, he insists. He paints Rhonda as unreasonable, even vindictive. The courtroom falls silent for a moment as two entirely different versions of the same marriage collide head-on. The judge studies both faces, one pleading, one detached, and everyone wonders whose truth will stand.
at this point, there is an offer on the house from, I believe, an investor, and that amount is a little bit lower than what we said when we were here last time. So we're asking the court for permission to drop the price of the house so that the house can go ahead and sell. If you recall the last time we were here, we've already talked about the stall tactics and the techniques that have been used so that Mrs. Haas can continue to live for free. And so we're asking the court to put a stop to that. And then
I see here that the drop 45 and 530. So what is the offer you have now?
I believe the offer right now, Your Honor, is between $475 and $500.
It's $480,000.
Okay. All right. So do you want to call a witness, Ms. Thompson?
Just Ms. Belusic.
Yes.
Okay. You may proceed.
Ms. Belusic, and I'll just be really quick. You are listed as the
Rhonda interrupts, unable to stay silent. He forged my signature on court papers. She blurts out. Gasps ripple across the courtroom. The judge raises his hand for order, but the emotional storm has already erupted. Her claim isn't just bold, it's explosive. If true, it changes everything. The tension spikes as the judge demands evidence, and Rhonda promises she can prove it.
realtor of this property, correct?
Correct.
And how long have you had the property listed approximately?
87 days.
Okay, and for the original order that was presented to the court, you followed the prior order with the step down amount?
Correct.
And is there a current offer on the house?
Yes, there is, for $480,000 cash.
Okay. And do you believe at this time that that's a reasonable offer on the home?
I do just because there is a lot of updating needed, and the investor brought in a contractor and showed all the different things kind of needing to be done. So I feel like he's going to put a lot of money into it. So I do feel it's fair.
Okay. And do you believe that at this point they could get, please strike that from the record. The amount of time that the house has been listed, is that a normal amount of time for a house to be listed?
In this market, yes. I do feel like it would have gone a lot quicker had it.
Documents shuffle, the clerk scans files, and the judge flips through the case record. I don't see any motion about forgery, he says carefully. Rhonda's eyes widen. She claims that pages have mysteriously vanished from the record. They're gone, Your Honor. The files were altered. Her voice cracks between rage and despair. The judge exhales slowly. What started as a property dispute is now turning into something much darker.
Been lower.
Okay. No further questions. I pass the witness.
So Ms. Haas, do you have questions for Ms. Belusic?
Well, yeah, okay, Ms. Belusic. If you were to look at the outside exterior of the house and the landscaping and whatnot. Is that what you would find standard to putting a house on the market for sale in our area?
No, I mean, it definitely needs curb appeal. And trimmed up. Yes, it needs definite curb appeal.
So in your assessment and looking at the landscaping just on the outside, not to even look at what needs to be done with the house, the landscaping on the outside is not what it should be.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Thompson?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Haas, do you want to give some testimony?
I would, yes, I would love to.
Bruce shakes his head, smirking slightly. This is ridiculous, he mutters. That small reaction sets Rhonda off again. You think this is funny? She snaps. The courtroom feels like it's about to burst. The judge sternly reminds both parties to remain civil, but the raw pain in her voice cuts through every rule of decorum. It's not just a hearing, it's emotional warfare.
In this whole divorce situation, there's been a lot of things going on that have happened that are in shady, for what I say. The last time before I appeared before court, I had gone in to get some information to properties that have been sold in the area.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to narrative and to relevance. Number one, this issue's already been litigated and none of the testimony being presented is what we're before the court for today.
It is very important. Can I continue?
Well, there are objections sustained, so you can continue. It's going to depend on what you're going to say.
Okay. Well, let's get right down to the issues at hand. The property in question that is being sold or trying to be sold to an investor. Okay. My name has been removed from the title, the record of title in Austin County.
All right, guys, this is where things really start heating up. Rhonda accuses Bruce of using the home as leverage to break her spirit. He knows I have nowhere else to go, she says, trembling. She talks about losing her car, her job, even her dignity. Each word lands like a blow. The judge's face remains composed, but you can tell he feels the weight of her story.
Someone has not.
I'm going to object to relevant.
Yeah. The documents are missing. The documents are not there. Why?
What document are you talking about?
Right now, my husband is shown to be the only person on the deed. I sent a document to the court showing the loan papers. The loan papers that I am to be on the deed.
So have you looked in the clerk's office for the deed to the property?
Bruce Haas is here. He has the document and he could testify to the fact that it was sent to him with his name only.
Do you have a copy of the deed where you and your husband obtained the property?
I do not at the moment. I am broke. I have no income. I have no income. I have no alimony because Mr. Haas didn't want to pay alimony. So when we went to mediation,
to relevance,
we're going to go off the record. There's no.
Bruce stands firm, insisting he's followed every rule. I've paid the mortgage, maintained the property, and kept my distance, he states. He frames himself as the rational one in the chaos. But the judge notices something: the way he avoids Rhonda's eyes. In documentaries like this, silence often says more than words, and right now, his silence is deafening.
No way we could do this on the record, so instructing the court reporter to stop. So you don't have a deed. Why do you say your name is not on the title?
I went into the assessor's office to get information. We have a cash sale for the house behind us that went for $500,000+. That was not on record. I could not get access to anything because I was told that I do not have, my name is not on the deed.
Okay, if you came to the tax assessor's office, why didn't you come to the courthouse and look for the deed?
I did go in.
Okay.
I did go in.
Okay,
And I do have the original paperwork that I gave the court a copy of it. That shows not, which I know at this point, you know, we don't have to get, I just want you to know that fact. Also,
okay, well, I don't know any facts yet. And I'm still asking the question. So you came to the courthouse, you looked at the deed, and you're saying your name is not.
I did.
Rhonda takes a deep breath and continues. All I want is to sell that house so I can survive, she pleads. Her words echo with a lifetime of exhaustion. She's not asking for pity, just fairness. The judge listens carefully, then asks for financial statements. It's procedural, but the emotional gravity makes it feel like Judgment Day.
I did not get, they told me I could have access to the room. I did not have time, or stress is not good for me. Stress, I have been in and out of the emergency room prior to this divorce, and I am not to get stressed because I will end up back in the emergency room. So these court settings are very upsetting.
It would be too stressful to come to the courthouse and look at a deed?
At the time I was at the courthouse, I decided that I would go to the title company to find out what happened. So I went to Bott's Title in Sealy and had them pull all of the documents to our mortgage. Somewhere along the way, the official loan paperwork has been changed.
Your Honor,
whether it's from Chase.
I said we're not on the record, so there's you don't need to object to anything. But what does a loan have to do with title to the property?
Okay, I don't know if Mr. Haas has done some finagle.
The clerk hands over papers, and the judge flips through. Mrs. H owes these show missed payments. Rhonda nods, ashamed but defiant. Yes, Your Honor, because I had no choice. She paints a picture of systemic failure, lost income, ignored pleas, bureaucratic indifference. It's more than a legal fight. It's a human one. Everyone watching feels it.
Behind the scenes.
Okay, but what just wait a minute. What does the loan have to do with title to the property?
I am being forced to sell this house for nothing. I am being forced into poverty intentionally. Why? I can't prove anything at the moment. I have no income. I have no rights to even get an attorney. And Mr. Haas knows that. And in this mediation, this whole bit that I had to go to, I was told that, you know, there's a clause there that says that I was supposed to have an attorney present. I was told that I could not because you ordered it. It was judge ordered. I didn't need to have an attorney. Therefore, I was kept for 12 hours. And right after,
Bruce tries to steer things back. This isn't about sympathy, he says coldly. It's about responsibility, but his words fall flat. The courtroom senses the imbalance. He's stable, she's sinking. The judge notices it too. Mr. H.O.'s, this court values fairness, not dominance, he warns. That line lands hard. The power dynamic begins to shift.
And I can even show you, not that you care, two emergency room ordeals prior to going to court, and then ordered to talk to Jasmine in the back of the room. And I was treated like I had no rights. I could not speak. I was ordered to go to mediation. And there was no agreement between Mr. Haas and myself in this, quote, pro se divorce. My rights have been just totally infringed upon. I went, okay, I had no money. Mr. Haas would not give me money for a lawyer. I went down to the bakery where the lawyer for people that don't have any money and representation are supposed to go. So I went there. And what did the guy say? His first comment was, is there any property involved? And I said, yes.
All right, guys, this next moment hits deep. Rhonda, voice cracking, says, I just want to move on. You can almost hear years of emotional exhaustion in that single line. The judge nods, softening for the first time. Mrs. H.O.'s, I understand, he says quietly. For a fleeting second, the courtroom feels human again to people, and one truth, broken love has no winners.
This is a property. What was I told? Get an attorney. And I told him, I said, well, I would if I had money, but I don't have a job. I don't have a job. My husband does. Yeah, no, there was no money for an attorney for me. So I went to another attorney in Belleville. What do they say? $4,400 up front, but oh, you'll get the money back. Okay, well, I don't have it. I don't have it. And my life is more important than fighting Mr. Haas for this property. But in the duration of this whole situation, degrading situation as it is, to have to come before you, not knowing the law, but having to represent myself, and at the same time, know that there is all kinds of things going on behind the scenes. Prior to this divorce, we had a house in Colorado that was sold. It was
The judge now asks about the timeline for sale. Bruce's attorney proposes a 6-month delay, calling it reasonable. Rhonda nearly collapses in disbelief. 6 months? I can't even make it 6 weeks. She cries. The judge rubs his temples. The balance between compassion and procedure weighs heavy. Everyone knows whatever he decides will reshape both their lives.
$35,000 in addition to the money that went to my son for him to take over the loan. Where did the $35,000 go, I ask? Huh? Well, I was never told. Mr. Haas says, well, it went back into whatever. Okay, fine. Then I was led into the situation that, yeah, okay. Yeah, we're supposed to buy a place in Utah to go live. Right, Mr. Haas? We arrived there. I'm not allowed to go in. Why? Because he signs for the loan all by himself. I also sent.
What do you say the house should be sold for? The current residence, the marital residence.
Personally, I don't have a house to live in, and he just bought a $600,000 house.
Okay.
I find that a problem. Where did he get the money? Okay. It's not listed. He says retirement.
The question today is, what price should the house be sold at? We went from 560 to 545 to 530 without any offers.
Tension climbs higher. Rhonda accuses Bruce of using delay tactics. He's doing this on purpose, she insists. Bruce denies it, but the judge has seen this pattern before. He starts questioning inconsistencies in Bruce's filings. The courtroom turns cold. For the first time, Bruce seems nervous. That's when the power shifts completely.
Yeah, there were some people that came to the house, and I couldn't even find out who they were in my house. They were looking for documents. I know they were. I can't prove it. I can't prove it, but you can ask Miss Belusic, because I called her. I recognized a truck that had driven up to my house asking about a truck that my husband supposedly owned, but my daughter owned it. So I don't know. Maybe you can add some information to this, Bruce.
Okay. What is the price that you think the house should be listed at now?
Well, given that he won't do any repairs and he won't do the landscaping to the house is not worth much in this market. I have tried to come to an agreement with him to change the percentages on the sale of the house, but he won't budge. I personally think that the percentages for the sale, I want out. I want to be completely rid of my ex and his control and his harassment. It's been nothing but harassment.
All right, guys, this is where justice starts catching up. The judge lays down his voice like thunder. If either party is withholding information, this court will act accordingly. His tone leaves no doubt he's done with games. The courtroom goes silent. Even Bruce looks down. You can feel the fear ripple across his face.
This court, and I had asked you before I signed the divorce, would I have to play this game that he has before me? If I sign this, how many times will I be in the court And you said, well, if he has a legal agreement, situation. So here I am, harassed by Mr. Haas. So
Okay,
I
so
would
we had
I
to-
would like
Okay,
to
wait,
get
just wait a
this sold.
second. So back in December of last year, so about 11 months ago or so, there was a divorce decree signed, and we had procedures in here to sell the house. The house is not sold yet, and
I know.
that's the issue today. So what
But
are you saying the value of the house is that it can be sold at?
Well, the mediated settlement and the agreement at that time was that the house would be listed for 700 and something thousand, with the fact that Mr. Haas and Jasmine picked out that price because they insisted it could be sold for that. So everything within the agreement of the mediation was based on the sale of the house being at 700.
Rhonda finally breathes a little. She clutches her papers, trembling but stronger now. Thank you, Your Honor, she says softly. The judge nods, but he isn't finished. I'm ordering a full review of all filings related to this case, he declares. That means everything Bruce thought was buried is about to come to